most people have no clue.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. On this day after the solstice and day at the start of the holiday season, good morning and welcome to the Sunday morning service here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Laguna Beach. We are really glad that you have joined us today for worship here at UUFLB, either here in the building or those who've joined us from home. My name is Pamela Floodman, and I'll be serving as your worship associate this morning. And we are really grateful to everyone who's worked together to make things happen here at UUFLB. Our audiovisual techs, the beautiful music that we all participate in, those who arrange our speakers and oversee communication so that people know about our services and our upcoming events, the people who make the coffee, the people who from Nicaragua organized for us to have a beautiful Christmas tree that fits within our theme for this year, taking care of the building and the plants outside, and really all of the details that it takes for us to be able to do the work that we do together in our community and in making a difference for our local community and for the broader world. So thank you all. We gather together as a community of seekers to honor the interdependence of life, to respect the dignity of all, and to honor this land that we walk humbly upon. So this morning, as always, we acknowledge that we walk upon the traditional territories of the Ahashiman and Tongva peoples, the original nations of this land, the peoples who continue to cry out for justice and for self-determination, and we commit to respecting and enhancing the sovereignty of these Indigenous peoples. We recognize that we are blessed with a space and an opportunity to strive and to live out our principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, and to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, living out our dream of a world community of peace, liberty, and justice for all. So let these thoughts carry us forward as we journey and as we worship together. Today, we are delighted to welcome back to UUFLB Yvette McDonnell as our guest speaker. At this time of the turning of the solstice and the winter season, the shortest day of the year yesterday, and keeping in mind the upcoming holiday seasons, in this fellowship, we have been thinking over the past weeks of the light of the season, the light that is within the holidays of Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and Christmas. And today, Yvette is inviting us in the spirit of the solstice and this dark time of year to embrace an opportunity to slow down and turn inward, maybe things that are sometimes hard to do in the busyness of the holiday season. But she's inviting us to embark on a seasonal celestial journey to explore our connection to darkness, and with curiosity, to deepen our understanding of how we relate to darkness and blackness in their myriad forms within the universe. So today, you are invited to listen deeply to your inner wisdom as we engage as a community in sharing that uplifts the Unitarian Universalist values of transformation, of justice, and of pluralism. So each Sunday, anywhere there is a service held in a Unitarian Universalist congregation, a chalice is lit. And this morning, I've invited Candy to come forward and light our chalice. And the flaming chalice is a symbol throughout the world of our faith. It is the only symbol of Unitarian Universalism. And if you have joined us this morning by Zoom, I invite you to light a chalice within your home as Candy lights the chalice here in the fellowship. Our chalice lighting words this morning were written by Melanie Davis. If ever there were a time for a candle in the darkness, this would be it. Using a spark of hope, kindle the flame of love, ignite the light of peace, and feed the flame of justice. So thank you, Candy, for being with us this morning, for all that you do for the fellowship, and for lighting the chalice to begin our time of worship together. And throughout the service this morning, if you are here with us in the building, I invite you, if you wish at any point, to come forward and light a candle here in the sanctuary. We will be having a time of sharing spoken joys and sorrows later during the service, but you're also welcome to light a candle in recognition of whatever it is that you're carrying in your heart as you join us for worship today. At UUFLB, we are a welcoming congregation. And what this means is that we are committed, and we continue to commit to working together to make a difference, to build community, to actively dismantle the oppression and the systemic racism that exists within our world, to actively dismantle this in all of its forms. And so whoever you are, whomever you love, and really no matter your age, your gender, whether you're visiting for the first time or have been here before, your ancestral or ethnic background, whatever your life experiences, and really whatever it is that's brought you here to be with us this morning, we welcome you to our community of mutual caring and of serious intent to grow together and to support each other as spiritual and ethical beings as we work to live out our values in the world. And so it is such a joy for us to have guests on Sunday mornings. So if we have anyone who's here this morning for the first or second time, we'd love to have a chance to get to know you. If you are comfortable doing so, I invite you to share with us your name, where you are from, and what brought you to visit our church today. And I'll ask first if there's anyone on Zoom who is visiting as a guest. And I'm seeing from our audiovisual tech in the back that I don't think we have guests on Zoom today. Do we have any guests here in the building who would like to introduce themselves this morning? Great. Welcome, Adam and Heather and Josie, son, daughter-in-law, granddaughter of Phyllis, and here from North Carolina. Excellent. Welcome. Wonderful to have you here with us. Is there anyone else who'd like to introduce themselves this morning? I see a lot of familiar faces. Well, now what I'd like to do is have us just take a moment to turn to our neighbors for a quick greeting, although we're not especially quick about this, but to offer personal welcome to old and new friends in this season of celebration.
Good morning again, Jean. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Into the future, Reverend Dr. Yvette.
Oh my goodness. How you doing, Don?
I am amazing. I am amazing. I was so looking forward to chopping it up with you for a few minutes, and my technology and timing did not allow for such.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. No problem at all. I think I'm about to lose my extra lighting.
No.
I know it looks like it's dimming. Does that look terrible without it?
No, it still looks good.
Okay. All right, because I think it's about to die. Anyway, how are you, Jean? Hello, Harry.
Harry's actually in the building. He uses the Zoom as his audio visual assistant. I mean, his audio assistants.
Okay, great, great. Great. Jean, give me a thumbs up. How you doing? You doing good this way, or you not so good? You're good? Okay. All right. Well, it's good to be back with you all, for sure.
Always good for you to be here. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carol. And thank you, everyone, for joining us here at UUFLB this morning. And we hope that you have time to stay and enjoy coffee, and there are refreshments. They'll be out for a little while after the service ends, and a chance to maybe get to know each other a little bit better. Now I'd like to just make a short a set of announcements. First of all, for our upcoming services. So we have one more service left in the year of 2024. Next Sunday on December 29th, Reverend Casey Marie Pendel, who is a minister at the Summit UU Fellowship. And many of us, I think, may know her from her time when she was an intern at the Tapestry congregation here in Orange County. She'll be visiting us next Sunday, and I think we're all looking forward to that. On January 5th, Reverend Terry LePage will be visiting us again, and Reverend Terry joins us about every other month or so to lead the service here. On January 12th, returning is Jennifer Springsteen to leave the service, and then on January 19th, our own Jeffrey Breyer will be leading our service here at UUFLB. I also wanted to let you know about the Christmas Eve service at the Tapestry congregation, which is right up the road. On December 24th, Tapestry will be holding a traditional Christmas Eve service with carols and lessons. And that's at 5:30 p.m. And Reverend Kent Doss is leading that service. He's called it Waiting for a Sign. And really thinking about this as a time when we're all looking for a sign of hope in a dark time of year. So that will be a candlelit Christmas Eve service at Tapestry on Tuesday this week on December 24th. And you're all welcome and encouraged to join with our fellow UUs up at Tapestry for that service. Other announcements, just a reminder that every week on Monday at noon, there is a Zoom at noon group that gathers to exchange stories and support and thoughts about often a topic that's been suggested. Paul Bogdan hosts that event, and everyone is welcome to join. I wish I could join more often than I can. I also wanted to, again, thank everyone who helps to provide meals once a month on the first Thursday of the month at the alternative sleeping location. So that will be coming up in 2 weeks, a week from this coming Thursday. And if you're interested in participating and providing just a part of that meal, feel free to talk to me or to Candy. And I'm sure there's a way that we can incorporate you in providing that service that I know is so appreciated by the folks who are staying at the alternative sleeping location. From what I understand, the Unitarian Universalists between our group and Tapestry have a real reputation for providing particularly delicious and welcoming meals when it's our turn to do so. I also wanted to remind everyone that there is a holiday gift list at the alternative sleeping location. We here in the fellowship have decided this year under the leadership of Noreen to be Santas for those who are served by the alternative sleeping location in Laguna Canyon. The facility has requested donations of lotion, deodorant, soap, toothpaste to ensure a steady supply of these items that everybody needs in the coming months for those folks who are residents there at the alternative sleeping location. And we can all participate in the gift giving, and I can see that there are various toiletries hanging on our tree now here in the fellowship. And arranged underneath of the tree. We know that the holidays can be difficult times, and so this is a real opportunity for us to show our principles in action. And I really do like the quote that Noreen's given us here. Remember how St. Francis said it. It is in giving that we receive. So now we'll be switching to our opening hymn. And the opening hymn this morning is a favorite within this fellowship. I think it fits with the quiet of this dark time of year. We'll be singing our opening hymn, number 123, if you want to follow along in a hymnal, Spirit of Life. And we'll sing it first through in English, and then we'll sing it through in Spanish, and the words will be on the screen. So please join Carol in singing. Oh, and stand
in body, mind, or spirit as you are comfortable as we sing this beautiful hymn.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the head, giving life the shape of justice. Root hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Fuente d'amor, ven hacia mí. Il corazón contiene tu compasión. So above Allah, subhanallah, Astaghfirullah, let us see a day of vida. Arrógame, líbrame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí.
As we are welcomed by rest and the spirit of life this morning, we are called into fellowship today with a poem entitled, with a poem entitled Creation in the Darkness by UU Reverend Kristen L. Harper, who has written The Darkness Divine, a loving challenge to my faith. In the beginning, there was darkness, a darkness that covered all, comprising the building blocks of creation, the nutrients and nurturing needed to birth the world. This dark womb pushed out the light that released the heavens and cradled the plants and the stars, adorning the universe. It formed the darkened earth from which all life emerged, and to which all life returns when our bodies take their final breath. It is the same darkness that shelters us from an unrelenting sun, that calls animals to a safe hibernation, that protects the germination of seed and bulb. Darkness signals an end to the hectic chaos of our days, and it lulls us to sleep and a revitalization so that we can face the next challenge. There is peace in darkness and mystery and the unknown. And if we can rest in its grace, cease fighting to control it, we just might see it in the face of God. Let us connect further to darkness today with UU Leah Morris, singer, songwriter, and activist, with What We Seed in the Dark Grows, a chant.
What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows. What we seed in the dark What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows. What we seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark and grows. How no one knows.
Let us take a moment now to remind ourselves why we come together as a community. So I invite you all to read these words together when and if it feels right for you. And for those who have joined by Zoom, if you unmute your microphone, then you'll hear each other's voices as well as the voices here in the fellowship building, and we'll join all of our voices together. So the words of the unison affirmation are on the screens, and please join me in reading. May we
be reminded here of our highest aspirations
and
and inspired to bring our gift of love and service to the altar of humanity.
May we
May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle
to the
to the
universe.
universe, to this community, and to each other.
Thank you all. So now as we move towards our time of spoken joys and sorrows, I would first like to invite up our member Phyllis Hale to read a short reading that Phyllis has found and told me she found really valuable, I think, in this time of darkness and also as we move towards the time of light. So Phyllis, if you'd like to come forward and read, this is a short reading from Susan Cooper on the shortest day.
Okay. Okay, I'm not the slow person you see before you. I can't get used to this old age. Anyway. Yes. This is called The Shortest Day by Susan Cooper. So the shortest day came and the year died, and everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight, the shortest day. As promise awakens in the sleeping land, they carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace. And so do we here now, this year and every year. Welcome, Yule. Thank you.
Thank you, Phyllis. And thank you, Harry, for providing some beautiful background music. I'm not sure the folks on Zoom could hear it, but it was quite lovely. We have now come to the time in our service to briefly share the important events that have touched our lives in the past week, because in this fellowship we are committed to sustaining a community where we can share our sorrows and also share our joys. During this time, we have paused the recording of the service. As we move into our time of offertory, it is as much a blessing to be able to give as it is to receive, as St. Francis taught us. And in this self-governing, self-sustaining community, we recognize that it is a responsibility to do both well. So during this time of offering, we'll be passing the basket here in the fellowship, and there's information on the screen for those of you who are at home with additional ways in which you can give.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Everybody, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. One more time. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Thank you, Carol. And I don't know if maybe it's snowing in Philadelphia area where Yvette is. It's not snowing here in Southern California. It's in the mid-60s on its way to 70. But it's lovely to be thinking of those aspects of the season as well. So please now stand in body, mind, or spirit as you're comfortable, and we'll sing to each other words of the sincere gratitude that we feel for each other. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Please be seated.
So I invite you now into a short time of silent meditation. You may wish to adjust your position, put your feet flat on the ground, allow your body to rest easily against the back of your chair, with your hands gently resting in your lap. Allow your eyelids to relax and close with your breathing soft and easy, following your breath as you breathe in and out, in and out, as we enter this time of silence and reflection. It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Yvette McDonnell. Since the last time Yvette joined us here at UUFLB, she has started a new position in Pennsylvania, and we are delighted that she was able to make the time in her busy life to be with us again today. Yvette is a dedicated interfaith chaplain with roots in the Black Baptist tradition. She is an educator and a spiritual companion ritualist who emphasizes the importance of mindfulness, encouraging people to breathe deeply and appreciate each moment to cultivate integrated awareness in their lives. Yvette holds a master's degree in social change, along with certificates in multi-religious and chaplaincy studies from the Unitarian Universalist Seminary, Star King School for the Ministry here in California. And Yvette is currently on her path to becoming an ordained Unitarian Universalist minister. So Yvette, thank you for being with us here today at UUFLB.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you may be. And welcome new and old friends that are joining us today. And as always, I am always so honored to be here with you. And I want to give special thanks to the worship team. A continuous thank you for each and every invitation to return, to share time and space with you all here, and to be part of the UUFLB community. For those of you who are new or just joining us today, or maybe have forgotten who I am, as Pam said, I'm Yvette McDonnell. I am a spiritual companion ritualist, an interfaith chaplain, a curandera, a root woman, sage, seer, wise woman. And in many places, I need no name at all. My roots are, in fact, in the Black tradition of the Baptist Church, and my branches spread wide and far to offer space for the many ways of knowing that exist in the material and dream world and beyond. What a wonderful moment it is for us to connect today. Yesterday was just the winter solstice that many people around the world has celebrated, including myself, marking not only the first day of winter, but also a profound turning point in the year. The winter solstice event occurs when the sun is at its lowest point in the northern hemisphere, having traveled its furthest southern path over the earth, as explained by astronomer William Teets from Vanderbilt University. On the day of the winter solstice, the Earth's tilt takes us furthest from the sun, giving rise to the longest night and the shortest day. Did you know the winter solstice has a rich history celebrated by many diverse cultures around the world, tracing back further than any of us can fully comprehend? Some of the most remarkable ancient sites linked to this celestial event include Stonehenge in England, the Temple of Karnak in Egypt, Newgrange in Ireland, the Gothic Circle in Germany, and Machu Picchu in Peru. These locations are thought to be aligned perfectly, just perfectly, with the winter's solstice sunrise or sunset, allowing our ancestors to have witnessed this magnificent astronomical phenomenon. They have a profound understanding, or I should say they had a profound understanding of the interconnectedness that links us to nature, our humanity, and the cosmos. An insight that continues to resonate with many of us today. There are many traditions around the world that celebrate the change of the seasons, often focusing on the return of the light as a time of rebirth and renewal. However, today, I would like to invite you to embrace the darkness with me as we explore the linguistic aspects of darkness and what it signifies in our collective society. I did start a new job here in Pennsylvania. I am currently the Congregational Life Coordinator at the Mainline Unitarian Church in Devon. And I love my job. It's so exciting. And I'm so blessed and honored to be with that community. Last week, Reverend John Morehouse, who is the Reverend there, shared a story at church, and it made me laugh because I've heard this story before, but it was nice to be reminded of it. It made me laugh, and also I was able to reflect on my sermon today about darkness, its symbolism, and what lurks in the dark. So I wanted to share my own version of that story with you all today. So sit back, get a little relaxed, take a nice deep breath in, and enjoy. One evening, a mother with her daughter, they were tidying up the kitchen, and the mother had realized she had left the broom on the back porch. So she said to her daughter, "Baby, go on out there to the porch and get me the broom so I can finish sweeping up." The little girl turned to her mother and asked, "You want me to go get the broom from the porch?" The daughter replied, "Mm-mm." She's like, "I'm not going out there. It's dark." The mother was unmoved by the daughter's response and urged her and just said, "Girl, just go out there and get the broom. There's nothing to be afraid of. Remember, Jesus, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Buddha, and all of your loving ancestors are with you all the time, protecting you. And they will be with you when you go out there too. So go on out there and get me the broom, girl." So the girl looked at her mother with uncertainty and asked, "Are you sure?" The mother said, "Yes, yes, you're fine." And at that moment, the little girl said, "Okay." So she slowly opened the door and peeked her little head out there. And she said, "Psst, psst, Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Buddha, any one of my loving ancestors, can one of y'all pass me the broom, please?" That story just gave me a little chuckle, when I think about what lurks in the dark or what I have been taught lurks in the dark. And generally speaking, I've learned that in the dominant culture here in the United States, I've learned to view darkness from a negative perspective. Sorry, can't get my words out. From a negative perspective. And I learned this through children's stories, through idioms, and the media, actually. I was raised to fear the dark. See, witches in movies often lived in the dark woods with dark, tattered black clothing. I was taught that the darkness is a place where evil and scary monsters reside. They even hide under your bed or in your closet, waiting for you to go to sleep. Movies portrayed death as the Grim Reaper, knocking at your door, dressed in a long black robe. And it was always accompanied by this ominous music and maybe some fog. Throughout my upbringing, I heard phrases linking negativity with darkness and or blackness, and positivity with light and whiteness. I heard things such as black mood or dark times, or the encouragement to turn away from the dark and always look towards the light. See, these are cultural metaphors that are embedded in our everyday language, and they contribute to the complex, layered ways in which our society relates to darkness, racism, and even colorism. As a child and a teenager, young adult, and even now as an adult, I've struggled with a fear of the dark that was ingrained in me during my formative years, long before I had the opportunity to appreciate the darkness for what it is. Over the past 15 years or so, I have been exploring my relationship with darkness and how it manifests and shows up in my life. And having my daughter has been a significant motivation in this journey of self-discovery for myself. So when I became a mother, I wanted to be the change I wished I saw in the world. I wanted to offer my daughter something completely different. I didn't want her to grow up being afraid of the dark. At the time, I really wasn't sure how I was going to do this, how I was going to accomplish it. But I started in very small ways. The movies we watched and the stories that we focused on were tales of nature, seasons, animals, and fairy tales from around the world. Believe it or not, there were no monsters, there were no scary witches, or dark woods with little children in danger about to be eaten up. That did not exist in our household. I was also mindful not to repeat the old cliches or use phrases that linked darkness with negativity. And you know, there were no cartoons in our household that featured Snow White or Polly Purebred. These are just some things to think about, you know? And my daughter never, ever once came into our bedroom saying that there was a scary monster under her bed, as many children often do. She never came into our bedroom scared at nighttime that something was lurking in her closet. And as I reflect back, I attribute that to the mindfulness of the way we raised her to think about darkness. We would take our daughter outside at night during the summer to marvel at the beauty of the lightning bugs. I think in other places they call them fireflies. We also bundled up for a drum circle as we waited and watched for the lunar eclipse. And we enjoyed nighttime walks in our woods during and after a snowfall. It was and still is a magical experience. We made nighttime fun. We became friends with the dark. I fondly recall one night, one winter night, when my daughter was desperate. She just wanted to go outside. It was cold, it was dark, and I really didn't want to go, but she had such excitement about her because she wanted to go lay down and look up at the stars. So once again, we all bundled up in our wool socks, long johns, snow pants, wool sweaters, and winter coats. And we went outside and we laid on our backs on the snow, enjoying a front row seat to our own up close and personal planetarium. She was actually the change I wanted to see, not just for others, but for myself. You know, I love how nature is just so perfect and beautiful in this way of how it connects darkness to the wintertime in the Northern Hemisphere. The winter solstice not only marks the longest night of the year, but also signifies the beginning of the winter season. During this time, I find it essential to take a deep breath and to slow down and align myself with the rhythms of nature. Like many other animals, I enter into this hibernation mode during the winter months. The darkness and the cold bring a profound sense of stillness that just makes me want to be wrapped up in my warm jammies, fuzzy socks, sitting by a warm fire. It is a time of year for me where once it gets dark, I don't want to go anywhere. So don't ask. I am happy and content in my home, slowing down. And this is the season, and it's also the opportunity for rest. This time of year allows me to rest and focus on self-care. It is a time for reflection. It is a time for creativity. And it is a time to go inward. As a seed planter of justice, I believe that rest is an act of defiance, an act of liberation, and a renewal for my soul and spirit. I have been following the NAP ministry for several years now. And if you are not familiar with their work, I really encourage you to connect with them on social media. Founded by Tricia Hersey, the NAP ministry explores the liberating power of naps and engages in performance art to help people deprogram from the grind culture and the tendency to overwork. What perfect time. What perfect timing it is during the winter solstice, during the winter time to slow down and to do this type of work. What better way to uplift the UU values of justice and transformation during this winter season? By slowing down, taking a nap, and not feeling guilty about it, not worrying about, oh my goodness, I have to get this done, I have to do this, to actually take the time for yourself, right? To slow down, to breathe, to hibernate. I invite you today to embrace the gifts that come with both the day and by night. Thank you so much for taking this time to share with me and connect to darkness in a way that I have experienced that many people don't really talk about too much, about how the darkness is such a sacred place to be for renewal, for rebirth, to go inward. And not only to look at darkness from that perspective, but also how we use and talk with our metaphors about dark and light. And so our closing hymn today, we are going to sing a song about the and and the both. Thank you. Amen. Ashe, and may it be so.
So now, if you could stand in body, mind, or spirit as you are comfortable, and we will join in singing this hymn, number 55. It's not one we've sung before, but it, to me, very much fits with this concept we're all now encouraged to engage with, the darkness as a time for us and a renewal of spirit. The hymn is called Dark of Winter, number 55.
I'll play just a bit of it so you'll get the idea of how it goes. Dark of winter, soft and still, your quiet calm surrounds me. Let my thoughts go where they will, ease my mind profoundly, and then my soul will sing a song, a blessed song of love eternal, gentle darkness and still. Bring your quiet to me. Darkness, soothe my weary eyes, that I may see more clearly. When my heart with sorrow cries, comfort and caress me, and then my soul may hear a voice, a still voice of love eternal. Darkness, when my fears arise, let your peace flow through me.
Now is the time for us to extinguish the chalice here at UUFLB and within our homes. We extinguish the flame, but we keep its light in our hearts with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world we live in until we are together again. And as I extinguish the chalice, we will return to Yvette for our benediction.
As our time together is coming to a close for today, I leave you with the words of UU Reverend Kristen L. Harper, The Darkness Divine, from her book, The Darkness Divine, A Loving Challenge to My Faith. The Darkness Divine. God resides in the depths of darkness. As the light of sunbeams, the moon shines brighter surrounded by night, and life is secure in the black waters of the womb. As the night sky is littered with stars demonstrates again and again, there is beauty in darkness and in light. One no more brilliant than the other, one no more necessary than the other. Without the heated darkness of the universe, splitting neutrons, electrons, and protons from atoms, life and light would never be. The task for us today is to recognize God in both, to see the divine in the rich brown earth, the textured black walnut, as well as the white snow and the pale pink jellyfish, to see the sacred in the panther and the swan, to embrace the dignity of the Black Madonna as it is embodied in the Virgin Mary. The task for us today is to look into the multifaceted colors of the Black onyx and to see the miraculous spectrum of color produced in the prism of a diamond. And as we go out today, let us hear from UU musician and songwriter and activist Leah Morris, Honor the Dark, which we will be following by our closing song, May There Be Peace on Earth. Thank you. Amen, Ashe, and may it be so.
Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark.
Those are my keys.
The wait is finally over. Shen Yun returns to
The words are up on the screen. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. Our Mother, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Have a lovely day and happy holidays.